Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So far, we have understood what an API is and even what makes it restful. If you miss those, no worries. You can check them out right here. Now comes the exciting part. How do we actually build API ourselves? Well, there are many frameworks out there to help us to create REST APIs. But one of the most powerful and beginner friendly option is Django REST framework, or we call it as DRL. Django REST framework is built on the top of Django, and it gives us everything we need to build clean, secure, and scalable APIs fast. That's why it's used in startups, big companies, and even production level systems. Are you ready to start something exciting? Awesome. Because from here on, we are kicking off our Django journey. This is just a warm up session. If you have used Django before, it will be a quick refresher. And in case if you are new to Django, no worries. We will go step by step. As a part of Django journey, we will cover Django basics. In this, our focus will be on the core ideas. Next will be the project setup. In project setup, you will learn about folder structure, code editor, useful extensions, and all the essential thing that is required. Then JSON response, which is a key part. In this, we will see how to send data as JSON instead of using web pages or templates. So let's start with Django basics. First, in Django basics, we will lay the foundation by doing the essential setup work. It includes create our project folder, then understand the virtual environment and why it matters. Then we will install Django and set up your code editor. First thing first, let's create a folder of our project. So we will go to the desktop and make a new folder. Let's name it as movie underscore drf underscore project. Okay. You can name it anything you like, such as movies underscore API underscore project or restful movies or Django REST project or something similar. Okay. So now inside this folder, inside the movie drf underscore project, we will set up our virtual environment and start the project. Okay. So now the next thing is that we move on to the virtual environment to understand the virtual environment and why it matters. Now, generally, this question arises, and you might be thinking also, what is a virtual environment and why do you need it? So, in order to understand the virtual environment concept, let's imagine that over the time you have installed all kinds of Python packages on your computer, like Django, Flask, Pandas, Pillows, Psychop-G, 2-binary, and so on. But you don't need all of these in every project. That's why we use a Python virtual environment. So it lets you set up a clean, isolated workspace where you can install only the dependencies like Python, Django REST framework, and others that your current projects needs. If you are working on one project that need Django 3.2 and another that needs Django 2.1, no problem. You can keep them separate by using virtual environments. Right now, we are still in the global Python space. And if you run pip freeze, you will see a list of all the packages already installed on your system. But don't worry, we will run that command shortly after creating our virtual environment. That way, the difference will be easy to understand. Now, you don't need most of those global packages for this Django project, especially when it comes to deployment. That's why we create a virtual environment. It gives us a fresh start with zero packages installed, just what we need for this project. Now let's create our virtual environment. So first open the command prompt and then we'll go to the folder that we have created. So the best way is we can open the folder, copy the path. Okay. And we can do cd and then paste, then enter. So this will take us inside the project folder. Okay. Now run the command to create a virtual environment. To create a virtual environment, the command is python -m venv and the name of your virtual environment name. Since it is a movie related project, so I will name virtual environment as m underscore env. Okay, you can name it anything like movie underscore env or watch env or whatever that suits to your project. Okay, the command will create a virtual environment. So if we click this, it will create a virtual environment inside your project folder. So it's in the process in creating the virtual environment. So now the virtual environment being already created and we can check by opening the folder also. So you can see here the virtual environment. Okay. Once the virtual environment is created, you can activate your virtual environment by using the command m underscore env slash scripts slash activate. So this way you can activate your virtual environment that you have created in the previous system. Okay. Replace m underscore env with your virtual environment name if it is different. This way. Okay. So after activation, you will see the virtual environment name appear in parentheses before the path. Now you can pip freeze. You can run the command pip freeze and you will see no libraries or packages are stored. So your environment is clean and ready to use. If you want to exit the virtual environment, just type deactivate. By deactivate, you will exit the virtual environment. And now you are back to the system, or we can say the global environment. And if you run the pip freeze again, the command pip freeze again, it will show you all globally installed packages again. So this clearly show why virtual environment. These are all globally installed packages. Okay. So this clearly shows why virtual environment are useful. By this way, you keep your project clean, organized, and isolated from system-wide packages. Next, we need to install Django. For this, we need to go to official website, that is https www.djangoproject.com. So if we can open https www.djangoproject.com. Click on the download section to see the latest version. Now the latest official version is 5.2, 5.2.3 LTS. And this is basically the window command that will install the Django. So we can copy this. Okay. Now scroll down and you will see 5.2. Yeah, here. So you will see 5.2 mark as LTS. LTS means the long-term support releases, which means it is more stable and gets important security and bug fixes update. And you can see it here that it can be supported even beyond 2028 as well. Okay. Now open the terminal and run the command that we have copied. This is the command that we had copied, and make sure you are in virtual environment. So we are not in virtual environment. So what we do it, first we just write CLS. We are not in virtual environment. So what we need to do, we need to activate the virtual environment first. So m underscore env, which is the name of my virtual environment, then scripts, then activate. This is the this is the command to activate the virtual environment. Okay. So now the virtual environment is already activated. Once the virtual environment is activated, now we can paste whatever we had copied earlier. Okay. Then enter. So now it's already installing Django and it is in progress. Still keep on running. Just wait for some time. Yeah, it's successfully installed Django 5.2.3. So after installation, you can check the install packages by running the command pip freeze. Yeah. So you should see Django and few helper packages listed here. So this means your environment is working fine. Okay. So now let's talk about where we will be writing our code. So I recommend using Visual Studio Code. VS Code is free and easy to use. and perfect for beginners. Plus, we will use a few cool extension with it later. If you don't have it, you can download it. You can download from we can write https www.code.visualstudio.com. We can click it here and we can drop. So then, because this is the official website, we can click on the big download for Windows. Okay, button, and it will automatically detect your operating system. So now it's being downloading. So it's already downloading. So now once the installer is downloaded, double click to launch it. So just click through. First of all, accept the agreement. Next, and just click through the setup and follow the simple step to install it. And the default option work just fine. So once installed, you can click next and then install it. So once installed, just open your project folder and no need to change any settings in right now. So we will keep it simple. Okay. So I am wrapping up the session with a quick recap for what we have covered so far. In this session, first we have created a project folder and name it as movie underscore drf underscore project. Then set up a clean virtual environment and named as m underscore env. Then we had installed Django and also got our VS Code editor ready to start coding. So in the next section, we will build our Django project. Look at look at folder structure and we'll learn how to return a JSON response directly from Django views. From there, you will see why Django REST framework is so useful. And when we reach that part, it will all make sense. Thanks for staying with me. See you in next lesson.